Just say something again. Sorry, well, the last sound check, and I think everything should be sorted. I reckon.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello, Jimjamatic here. Welcome to a brand new episode of Robot Wars episode reviews. We're now on the last episode of Series 5, the second semi-final / the grand final, so I like to do them both at the same time.
It took you long enough.
I know it did, and as you just heard there, I have got a few special guests to me. Okay, one of course is Owain.
Hi, I'm here again. I seem to be on James's podcast more than my own.
you appear on like everyone's podcast now at some point.
I do. I'm just a rash. It won't go.
We can never get rid of you, can we? No,
Exactly.
not that we want to, but it's always nice to have you back, of course. And for his first time on my show, it is Jevan Woodward of Woodward. What just call you Woodward? Oh my god, I'm terrible at names. It's Woodrow.
That's going into blooper reel.
That's going to the blooper reel, yes. Woodrow of World of Woodrow. Sorry.
Hello.
First time on the show and I get your name wrong. Jesus.
Hey, I don't care.
Oh my god, it's Ron Burgundy. I love your news show.
Wow, this was a great start to the last episode of Series 5, wasn't it? Woo!
Amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. Of course, what's it with semi-final without semi-finalists? See what I did there? Nice transitional link to the episode. And of course, I'm just going to go in heat order because it's the most generic way of doing it. But it actually coincidentally has the grand finalist first, obviously. Hypno-disc from Heat B.
Absolutely tore Atomic a new asshole.
To the point where they couldn't appear in the Annihilator anymore, and also with Bulldog Breed as well.
Bulldog breed I don't get though, because all they did was just knock the batteries out.
Maybe they just didn't give enough time. I don't know.
It was such a snipe hit. Bulldog breed. Like a 1 in a million shot, and they're just like, yep, bye.
It's the fact.
It was like Hypnodisc fell victim to Pussycat, and that snipe hit in the Series 4 Grand Final, and we're just like, oh yeah, well, we can fucking do that as well.
They get revenge for that Pussycat no scope, I'm guessing. But you definitely can't say they didn't earn their semi-final place, definitely. Although, weirdly enough, I kind of hoped they had destroyed Black Widow more than they could have, considering it was a walker. But
Yes.
but all the legs to go flying. We just kind of just bent one of them in and almost got tangled.
Is that the only robot that the floor flipper can actually flip?
I think so. I mean, they even managed to flip Millennium Bug in Series 4, so it might be the only one that it might be that heavy. Although I would love to have seen 11 try and get flipped off that. That would have been.
Oh, that would have been beautiful.
Well, considering the fact that both them and 367 were stuck together, it would have been combined weight.
Yeah.
So, if it wasn't heavy enough.
I've completely forgotten about 11.
We actually do get to mention it later in the awards. It does actually appear in one of the awards.
Yes.
For some reason. But, yeah. Then we have Firestorm 3 from Heat D. That rhymed.
Best robot ever.
And I know you love this, Owain, but of course, technically, its flipper was still damaged from its epic fight against Decapitator.
Yeah, I love that.
It still hasn't got
that
fixed.
Heat alone, Heat D, gave me 2 of my robots that I have today.
That is true, actually, yeah, because you got Pup Dougal as well.
Yeah, Up Dougal. That's the plug for this episode.
I must admit, I thought of you, Owain, when I saw in the grand final, just saw Ruff have its head blown off. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that flipper's still like even when it's like entering the grand final, it's still the flipper's just still not right, and you can just they should have got like if they had stickers at the time, they should have got a Decapitator sticker on it.
Yeah, true.
Just to remind it this is the robot that caused all this. Indirectly, of course, but still was part to play in it.
Decapitator holds the record for causing the most visible damage to Firestorm by technicality.
And technicalities are still victories.
It's kind of like Junkyard Queen still technically flipped Mr. Psycho.
How big are the air quotes for technically on that one? Then we have Dominator 2, and as we know, since it is Dominator 2, it can't get past the semi-finals, and has to lose in the second round every time. because it's got 2 in it. So you know,
It's a sad
Can't-
case of Dominator 2.
it's always the same place every time. Like, it's, in case you haven't seen Series 6, oh no. But
I will
fairness.
say this. This was Dominator 2's worst performance in this episode.
it wasn't a very. It was a lot better in its heat than it was here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was losing to Willie McCheese for the
Yes.
first half.
What I was about to say, yeah, the fight against Wheelie Big Cheese, which we'll get onto very shortly. I know, but it's such a shame because they were doing so well in it.
Yeah, and then their kind of anticlimactic fight against Hypno-disc is also just kind of. We'll get to that one as well. Although, in fairness, it's not all. I will say it's not 100% Hypno-disc's fault. Just saying.
I think it was more of a miscommunication between the producers and the teams.
Yeah, it was a shit show, pretty much. Then we have Heat H's winner, Willie Big Cheese, who just kind of like faded out in the semi-final, like after the first few flips.
To help rebuild this thing at RoboNerd.
I saw it just came in pieces, didn't it, when I came in, and he like came to rebuild
the
it.
Bomb team asked me and Shane if we could help rebuild it while it was just outside the car, and I was just like, one of the best moments of RoboNerd that was.
Yeah, and things I knew it's one of those few robots that Willie Big Cheese is that you can tell it's big even on camera. Like there's some robots you really can't get the scale of, but I could tell this thing was big even then. But I didn't realize how big it was when they got its jaw open in RoboNerd. I was like, what the hell? How did you make this thing?
Now the height of the flip on Axor makes all the more sense.
God, that was a gorgeous moment.
And it even gets a really good flip on Dominator too as well. Like,
Yes.
damn, if that was slightly closer to the edge, then
That was a Bronco level flip. That was.
it was beautiful. Although I would have been worried for Willie Big Cheese going against Hypnodisc in the next round, because we know how that went last time in Extreme.
Yeah.
That didn't go very well, but yeah, after that first bit on this, it didn't do much in the rest of the heat really. It got a nice flip on Panic Attack and Losers Melee, but it
Died.
yeah, it just died. Bit of a shame, really. Actually, speaking of Panic Attack, of course, winner of Heat J, who didn't really perform that well in the semi-final either,
No.
to be quite honest. And that was the biggest disappointment for me. I actually thought Panic Attack, I don't know, because it did quite well in its heat, and then, the Series 4/5 version is probably the most reliable version they've had. So, I thought, it might do alright, actually. It's not got a bad first opponent, but I don't know what happened to it, really. Something was going wrong.
It was the worst performance of Panic Attack in a series they reached the series semi-finals.
Yeah, that's true, because obviously that obviously gets to loophole out of the gold Panic Attack.
Yeah,
We don't talk about the gold Panic Attack.
Yeah, but again, we can make fun of it to a degree, because again, even Kim Davis didn't think it was that good. So, we're not
And then
too
series
bad.
7, they take the self-righter away.
Brilliant.
It
Good
wasn't
job.
even Kim Davis.
Oh, no, it wasn't, was it? It was,
That was Kevin Pritchard.
yeah, and he made Evil Weevils. We know it's going to be good. I'm not a fan of Evil Weevil. And then, of course, from the last heat, Heat L, Pussycat, who actually... They did all right, actually, considering, but they were, they were second seeds after all. But you can tell the power creep had increased in this series
Yeah.
by the fact they almost lost their heat final.
You want to talk about a sad story? Here's a sad little fact. This is the last appearance of David Gribble.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, because they had Extreme first, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh
He
man,
passed away after this.
that is actually quite sad, actually.
Rest in peace, David Gribble. One of the best drivers of the early days of World Wars.
It's a shame he didn't go in the heat finals. I mean, quite a way to go, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If their last appearance is, Saw goes flying halfway across the arena. But yeah, oh well. It's it's not bad to go in the semi-finals though. At least that's quite
And
nice.
fight against Firestorm as well.
that is just.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to go. I feel for your last fight. You could be like something like, I think, wasn't Panic Attack's last fight again flipped out the arena,
By Dan Tonkier, yeah.
and same with Chaos 2
Yeah.
flipped out the
And
arena.
same with Behemoth. Until the reboot.
Yeah, man, a lot of classic robots have bad ends, but at least Pussycat got an okay one. So yes,
Actually, no. Chaos 2's last fight wasn't against Dan Tonkier, it was against 13 Black and Razor.
Yes, it got absolutely shredded, didn't it?
I think
Worst way to go.
I think I blanked out of my head.
At least against Dan Tonkier, they left the arena in one piece.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It was quite a sad end in that battle. I think that was the All Stars, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just like to
The
point
first
out that
round of the All Stars.
they kept saying they were going to build a new one and never did.
It was the same with
Oh.
a few Roboteers did that. Like, didn't the Mortis team almost build like a third version of like with like wheels rather than tracks?
They did build a new version. It did have wheels.
It didn't get in though, did it? It just kind of
They
like.
tried to get into Series 7.
I'm surprised they didn't let him in. Honestly, I would like to have seen that. Because the only thing I know about the anecdote is the fact that I think they basically like rented their house out to loads of foreign Roboteers who couldn't get hotels or something, and like loads of, like the Dutch teams just staying there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But I guess we'll move on to the battles of course, and I do think overall the battles in the second semi-final aren't as good as the first one.
Well, the first one had Chaos 2 versus Wild Thing.
It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
It's real, and even some of the only mediocre battles I found in the last one were the Razor ones, because they were both the same.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
But at least we actually the first battle was okay. I mean, Dominator 2 versus Willy Cheese, at least the first half of it was quite exciting, just for the fact that they got a massive flip on Dominator 2.
Dominator
Right.
2 literally went outside of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good flip.
And then they got another flip that I really liked when they got them stuck on their axe at one point,
Yes.
and they almost couldn't self-right, and they were just digging into the floor and everything.
I want to know what the fuck that axe is made out of. The fact that Dominator 2 landed on the axe, and the axe didn't break or snap or bend or anything.
Unobtainium.
Plasma coated nitride unobtainium. Come on. I mean, it was like.
Made in Wakanda.
And then, out of nowhere, like, I think as what Japan said, like the receivers started going, and then they started. You could tell they were slowing down after the second flip.
Yeah.
One wheel stopped, and then out of nowhere, it just died. Like
That's really Big Cheese's motive, really, is out of nowhere the death.
Yeah, it's a very unbalanced robot. It's one of those robots that if it doesn't get that big flip early on to take the robot out, it kind of just has nothing else to defend itself with. Like, as it found out, or if a robot is way too maneuverable in the case of Tornado, where it really is not maneuverable enough to do enough damage right off the bat.
I do feel that Wheelie Big Cheese is very much like Bronco from BattleBots in the fact that it's so long that it's very difficult to get it where you want it. It does flipping great big flips, but then take that away, what have you got?
A massive wedge.
Oh, that is really large and cumbersome, just like Bronco as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
easily outdriven.
It's probably one of the definitions of all offense and no
Yeah.
defense. Like, I mean, the robots like hypno-disc as well. That like, if you take the weapon off, then they really aren't much. But I don't know when it comes to like Willy Cheese, it's like because the whole robot is the weapon, pretty much. Like, there's not many robots out there that can claim that like probably 90% of their robot is if you take the wheels off and look at the rest of it, 90% of the robot is just weapon.
Yeah.
I don't.
Except for full body spinners, of course.
Oh yeah, full body spinners are the ultimate.
Yeah.
And the bat in the Dutch Wars.
Of course. I mean, yeah, full body spinners are also probably the worst for it though. Like, they have nothing. They just have to kind of do that thing where they run away from everything until this countdown goes, they get flipped over or something.
You know, you say that. You know what I would have loved to have seen in Robot Wars was Wheelie Big Cheese versus Typhoon. Because if you think about it, Typhoon gets up to full speed, Wheelie Big Cheese launches them at the arena wall, and they just go into the plexiglass defending the audience and shatter it.
They shatter
They
the
say
audience.
at Robots Live, if you can catch the robot, you can keep it.
I think in that scenario, wouldn't like the whole audience get shattered?
Yeah.
Because I mean, Typhoon could just break
That's
the
what I
wall by
wanna
doing.
see.
That'd be a bloodbath.
Oh, I'm kind of sadistic. I kind of want to see that now.
Robot Wars,
then
it's
Mike's in
completely safe.
America, and then Mike's in America watching it, just lowering his face into his hands.
I think he was doing that watching the grand final of Series 7 alone. But yeah, it was a very kind of very anticlimactic end. It just kind of like ended when Liberty's broke, and then it's like, oh, I guess Dominator 2 wins. Ta-da!
A win's a win, even if it's not exactly earned.
I mean,
Have to... Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, speaking of like anticlimactic. I was going to say hypno-disc and firestorm.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, just wow.
When they write the Robot Wars dictionary, one hit KO will just have a picture of this.
A picture of Firestorm just next to the arena dead, like on the wiki. It's just...
What is the most pathetic one-hit KO? This or Dominator 2 versus Henry?
No, actually no, because that was actually really cool. No, the worst one for me, still always be, is the fact that Sawpoint managed to beat Oblivion by just walking over it.
They cut the aerial off.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Apparently, I think it was that, and also they bent some of the chassis in so the wheels couldn't move.
Oh yeah, that's right. They
Like-
bent the chassis so it beached the robot.
Bear in mind that Sawpoint wasn't really like a really massively like weighted robot. It was just like these little saw wheels on like a small frame, and they just ran over it and died.
That's literally like huge running over a robot and the robot's chassis just bending in half or something.
Yeah.
It just becomes a banana.
I mean, it's definitely like the top 10 like quickest KOs. It just kind of runs in, slightly glances the side of it, and then dead. It wasn't like a big hit. It just kind of just went donk.
That's literally got to be one of the only instances where you just press forward on the controller and you've already won.
Actually, if I was aware, is this the only time Hypnodisc has one hit KO'd something?
Yes.
Because every other time it's like ripped apart the robot for killing it or just going in the pit later on, but...
I don't want
I
to
think-
say yes because I feel like because it's Hypno-Disc, they've done it a load of times before, but I can't think of an example.
Off the bat, I can't think of a single time they have apart from this.
If you were to say this is the only time they've one hit KO'd and then done nothing else to the robot, then sure.
Yeah, because they normally at least do a bit more of a spectacle, don't they?
How many hits did they kill Barbarous with in its heat final of Series 6?
Ooh, that's a point. It might have been I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that one, actually. It
I
might...
remember that one being a really short battle.
That was really short, yeah, because they'd already taken like loads of damage from the first fight, and then didn't have to do much against Cat 3. So, you know, yeah, I don't know, but it was a very anticlimactic fight for two big names in Robot Wars as well. But
At least they'd have a better fight later.
oh, they do have a way better fight later, yeah.
Hypno-Disc don't.
Oh, no, they don't. But imagine anything is better than this.
True.
It's-
Mm,
Okay, maybe not then. I wouldn't take a Razor fight over this. Ooh.
I used to love Razor. I think Razor is the every child's dream robot, and then you grow up.
That was me, except I never liked it.
I
That was-
never actually loved Razor.
I just kind of saw it and I was like, it did the same thing every time. So I was kind of like it wasn't like Hypnodisc where it could break things apart and go, everything, it could do some damage. But it just kind of just holes, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I don't hate Razor either. I don't know, whatever.
I'm not technically allowed to eat Razor.
Are you not?
No. Because Anthony filled me in that the Razor team watch Antway Anarchy, and I'm associated with Antway Anarchy, so I can't drive away our big audience.
That is fair enough. Mad respect. And then of course we have Pussycat and Panic Attack.
Lewis.
Thanks for that. We have Pussycat and Panic Attack, who actually probably was the better fight out of the semi-final battles in the first three.
I completely agree.
Mainly because both robots lasted to the end,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
a start.
And
and
Panic Attack did well to survive 3 minutes, but 3 minutes it lasted, so fair dues to him.
it was 5 minutes back then.
Oh yes, 5. God.
I couldn't watch this for 5 minutes, I will admit. I love Pussycat, I love Panic Attack, but I couldn't watch this fight for 5 minutes.
No.
I mean, I think...
Can't watch any fight for 5 minutes.
Actually, that's probably fair in all honesty.
Apart from the 10 Robot Rumble, which...
Okay, that is awesome.
So that lasted 8, so I'm still sticking by it.
You still haven't got that experimental data yet until you get the proper 10-minute fight. Then we'll see how long you can last. But yeah, this
I'm sure there are 10-minute fights out there somewhere. We just have to look.
I'm sure if you do research, I'm sure there are some. I mean, this fight though, I mean, it's the fact that they almost pulled off an entire side skirt with their saw was quite impressive. I found because admittedly, Pussycat was not as strong in Series 5 compared to Series 4, but.
No.
This is probably the only time I can think of where they like properly ripped up robot like similar to Series 4.
Do you know,
Yeah.
I've only just rewatched I went back and rewatched series 3 and 4. I think series 3 for the first time, which is really bad. But having rewatched Pussycat's performance progressing through to this stage, I don't think I'd ever really appreciated how good their weapon was.
I mean, in series 4, it was really good.
Just watch Pussycat versus Robo Chick and you get an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even just defeating Razor was quite.
Some of us are gentlemen.
Oh, that was.
I have to bite my tongue.
Once again, hello Team Razor.
Oh no, we love. I love Team Razor. No problem, Team Razor. You know, I can like the team and not the robot. I think that's fair. There's a few teams.
Covering yourself in case the Razor team are watching.
Yeah.
Well, I never said anything bad about them. I never did. I just don't really like Razor that much, but they're cool. But I mean, yeah, the fight was okay though. I mean, I think mainly because Pussycat's a very hard robot to flip, or even lift up. So,
yeah,
I mean,
what exactly were Panic Attack expecting to do to Pussycat? Because their whole strength is getting those forks in on wheel arches or gaps in the armor, and up against Pussycat, a robot that's completely solid all over.
It's basically
can't exactly do shit.
It's the definition of ground clearance, Pussycat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The only tactic really is piggyback, because there's very little else. Get them on top and then hope.
Use the Shreemec as a crusher or something.
Yeah.
That I'd like to see.
You know, do a thing that the Big Cheese did in Series 3 and just kind of pin them down and put them in the pit.
Just eat them.
Nom them to death. That's what they should have done. Honestly, I should have been back there in Series 5 and just go to Kim Days and go, just nom him. Just nom him. He goes, what do you mean? When the time comes, you'll know.
Here, have the sticker.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, Pussycat, at least it lasted the full 5 minutes, and Pussycat got an earned victory there, because damage counts for a lot. As we found out in the battle with Wild Thing last time.
Oh, damage carries so much weight in the classic series.
I'm glad they reduced it in the reboot series.
Yeah.
I think is it control now that's highest?
Aggression.
Oh, it's aggression, right? Yeah, because they're all weighted very similar now, I think, aren't they? Or at least damage is definitely reduced a lot more than it used to be. Because my god,
I can tell you the official one. They actually went through it in the official Robot Wars handbook, which I use on a weekly basis. So there's 3 points spread for aggression, 2 for damage, and 1 for control.
Ah, okay. Fair. See, I know back then it used to be like damage was the number one, wasn't it? Like the one they focused on the most.
I'm pretty sure damage carried like 8 points.
Jesus.
And then the others 2.
8 versus damn.
Yeah, I'm making this up. I don't know for damage.
I was saying if that was the case, then what's the point in the other categories? You could just
Exactly.
win. You could do everything else, but you got Oh no, Storm 2 lost a piece of it. Therefore it lost.
Yep.
Woo. Anyway.
I'm so glad that those rules aren't around now when we get fights like Ice Wave versus Scorpios.
Oh man. imagine if damage was overweight then.
Yeah.
Jesus.
See, damage is still over aggression and control in BattleBots, but it's not so highly above it.
No.
You gotta keep it balanced, haven't you, really?
It's like in that match that I mentioned, Ice Wave clearly won on damage. It took out Scorpios' weapon.
Yeah.
Scorpios was hounding the fuck out of Ice Wave for the entire 3 minutes. They could not get away.
No, they could not.
Being so snotty after that decision, and now looking back at it, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I love that decision. You leave that decision alone.
Oh, I will. I'll get all off your back.
Fight.
Wayne will win. He likes wrestling.
Yeah. Plus, we found out at Robo Nerd, I am the bigger person.
You are. You're genuinely, shockingly tall.
Yeah.
Literally
so
a bigger
you can
person.
see over the mountains in that foreign land you call, is it Westeros?
Oh, fuck yourself.
Wireless? Is that what I think? I've never heard it before. I mean, it's some foreign
Here
land.
they come.
Couldn't resist.
I was counting the seconds when the Welsh joke would start.
Hey! I mean, we got about 24 minutes in without one, so,
Oh.
That was the record.
That's a record, yeah. Normally, it's straight away like, oh, well, welcome to Jimjamatic. Oh, yeah, Owain's Welsh. Ha! Anyway.
Anyway, speaking of Wales, We're gonna talk about Panic Attack again because it's the losers melee.
Or as Jonathan Pierce calls it, a banana skin battle.
Oh yeah, because they were all yellow.
Yeah, I'm seeing some racism here. The yellow robots lose. Oh Jesus! I mean, it's just like the modern world these days. Oh, political satire. Oh, you know what the world's like.
You know there are some people who are taking this deadly seriously.
God, yeah, Jesus. But no, I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
that is true. Jesus Christ. Oh God. But yeah, the yellow battle. I should really call this rather than the losers melee because it is. I mean, Dominator 2 just managed to survive because he's gold. So technicality.
I think you should actually call it the African Yellow American battle.
The robotic yellow British battle. I don't.
Conspiracy theory.
No matter what I say, someone's going to take offence to it. So.
Amazing conspiracy theory. Panic Attack went gold, so they got out of the losers melee in Series 6. And then they didn't have one.
Or maybe they just got hit by terahertz loads of times. That also works.
They did have the losers melee. They just didn't make it that far.
Oh, true.
No, because Panic Attack really didn't do much in this losers melee. It got flipped once. It did something. It broke, but then didn't break near the end. I don't know. It was like stuck. It was like for a minute, it just wasn't moving, and then just suddenly it moves again. But
looking through the notes for this fight, the most notable thing I can see Panic Attack doing is finishing the fight well, pinning somebody.
Yeah, and Willy Cheese got stuck under a handle grinder because, of course, at some point it was going to happen. I mean, and it just died.
That seems to be Panic Attack and Wheelie Big Cheese's jobs in the later years. Wheelie Big Cheese will break down out of nowhere, and Panic Attack will have a good fight but end up losing.
Pretty much.
Or just lose to Firestorm anyway.
Yeah, because there's always Panic Attack versus Firestorm. Always, without fail, always.
How many times did we have that fight? 5 or 6 times?
I'm pretty sure it was 30,000.
And I don't think once Panic Attack has won.
No, it always lost. It always lost.
It's just because
it's like Albert Einstein's theory of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Actually, no. They finally got their win on Firestorm in their last ever fight together.
When was that?
That also had Bigger Brother and Cat 3 in it, and it was the All-Stars, and they were all beating up Cassius Chrome.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
A win's a win. They finally got their win on Firestorm.
Didn't Firestorm drive down the pit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that really count then? Does that count? Really?
Yes.
By technicality, it counts, I guess.
It's in the record books. Shut up.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go and rewrite the wiki.
Yeah, because Panic Attack won once, therefore it won all the others. Fact. But yeah,
dominant robot.
It was a very underwhelming. Like both the losers' melees were relatively underwhelming in both of them. Although the first one was better because at least S3 and Wild Thing had a fight.
Yep.
This was just kind of like
get a much better losers melee next series with Danton Kia, 13 Black and Wild Thing.
Cool.
Now that's a losers melee. That's a friggin' losers melee.
Wild Thing losing in the semi-final again.
But
that was Series 6 Wild Thing, though.
Yeah.
My favourite part of Series 6 happened in that match, actually, was when 13 Black was spinning on the spot and then Danton Kia just joined in.
Oh, that fight was a joke. Just remember what fight it was. Oh, God.
We had a dance party halfway through a match.
Save that for Series 6. We've got a lot of... We have to talk about one of the most grueling and epic fights ever in the series coming up now.
Oh, no.
Brace yourself. Hypno-disc versus Dominator 2.
What the fuck happened here?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Hypno-disc saw that Dominator weren't moving outside their circumference, therefore are immobilized, and were like, right, I'm not going to do any more to them. They're done. And then nobody counted them out because
ever done that?
Refbot, obviously employed for nothing.
Clearly, he was on strike that day.
Yeah, clearly.
When has Hypnodisc actually ever done that, though? Left a robot after it's immobilized?
Against Firestorm about 5 minutes ago.
You know what I mean?
I mean, normally when the robot's still moving, at least it still goes for it, normally.
I'm pretty sure robots like Robogeddon, Stealth, Ming Free weren't exactly moving when Hypnodisc went after them again.
See, Dominator were doing really well at turning around right to face their axe at hypno-disc, and hypno-disc, rightly so, didn't want to get more damage, but my god, it was a boring way to finish that fight.
Technically, Romageddon was technically still moving, it just couldn't get any contacts on the ground, which still surprises me to this day that it was still moving.
Oh, shut the fuck up, James.
I did that just to annoy you, don't worry. Anyway, yeah.
What this fight could have been.
They said we got Dominator spinning in a circle for 5 minutes and Hypnodisc just sitting there.
I joined in booing.
Yeah, the booing was just like, come on. And Refbot was doing nothing. He just sat like, I'm not doing this.
He was eating the popcorn. He was just going, don't care.
He's the teacher, right? If you got like reports or good, hey, I'm getting bullied, they'll say, sort it out yourself, you know. Well, don't
hey now.
That's what it's like.
Teaching myself. I take offence to that. That I don't do that. That was all my teachers in primary school, mate. I was like, they didn't really give a shit. They were like, oh, just have you tried talking it out? I was like, well, they don't want to, and it's like, well.
Yeah, but now we got a semi-decent teacher in the chat right now, so.
It all makes up for it.
I wouldn't go that far away.
Don't put yourself down. I'm sure you're at least
The kids do that for me.
Aww.
Hello, kids.
I'm sure the kids are listening to this right now.
I made it.
Fuck you, kids.
Please don't swear at me.
He's made it. He's on the Jimjamatic podcast. Therefore, he's therefore made it.
You know, this is the first podcast I've been on for somebody else's channel.
See, you've made it even more then.
I've made it. I escaped. Mom, I'm so proud.
I love it. We don't just entertain. Well, I say I don't really entertain that much. But at least we have like nice emotional moments on this show.
Jevan, your mum wanted me to tell you that she's very disappointed in you.
How would you know? I thought she was with Paul.
Oh, she's here tonight. Although we spent more time talking about Jevan's job than actually talking about the battle. Because again, I call this most of these I have to loosely call battles. Two of them weren't battles, but whatever.
There are big old air quotes in the air right now.
There really are. And the second fight really didn't go much differently than I expected either with Pussycat and Firestorm. Because I mean, really, what can Pussycat do against Firestorm?
Snipe.
There's no wheels to snipe though.
Just snipe.
Just keep sniping and eventually we'll hit a spot that's super effective and just kill it.
We've caught your side panel.
I mean, they did briefly get the side armor on one bit, but...
And Firestorm did show up later in the series without a side panel, so...
Was that thanks to Hypnodisc, though?
Doesn't matter, these things are connected.
True. I mean, honestly, as I mentioned before, Pussycat is all ground clearance, and this was probably the one... a big wedge robot is the thing that Pussycat really can't do much to, unless it's got some sloped sides or something, or something to grab onto. And really, the only thing it could do is hit the sides, and that was it. And Firestorm really just had to do just run it into walls, flip it, and that was it.
Yeah.
Fight over. It was definitely. I would probably argue it's probably the best fight of the semi-final, which says a lot. I mean, maybe the Pussycat and Panic Attack one as well, but either way, the other ones weren't that great. This is both the Pussycat ones were the only ones I thought they were like really good in any way.
It's literally the precursor to the whole Spinner versus Wedge fight now.
My favourite.
Jeez.
Oh god. But yeah, it was a fight that happened. Yeah. Wow, this is a great semi-final, folks, wasn't it?
Why is it always the first semi-final that's the better?
It was. I don't know what the star for the bang.
Yeah, I suppose. The other one was better. This one, I think, has more emotion to it because last appearance of David Gribble, but also the last appearance of Wheelie Big Cheese.
Oh, that really counts as emotion, though.
I like Wheelie Big Cheese.
Oh no, we're never going to see the piece of Gorgonzola again.
And iron ore robots will do much better for it.
I think you'll find that's Edam.
Yes,
Every cheese looks the same to you, apparently. Clearly. Oh, I expected better from you, Owain.
At least I know it's got Baby Bell wheels.
No, that is true. Although those also could be giant Edams as well. Which in turn out Baby Bells are just tiny Edams.
Hey lads, have you found the cheese?
I regret showing you that video now.
You were saying about me being a good teacher. I showed basically a whole class that video today.
Why?
Banter!
You showed a video to a class of Wallace from Wallace and Gromit saying out loud, "I'm going to say the N-word."
You can't say the N-word, it's 2019.
So you like to educate. That's the thing.
Yeah. You
No,
need to be up on
I'm
their
taking
memes.
ketamine and I'm going to die, lads.
oh Jesus. And that was the semi-final. Woo.
And now we go to the grand final.
I
The
can
grand-
see why you did these two together.
Yeah, this is what I always
Before we
do.
go to the grand final, lads,
Oh,
I want to talk about some PTSD that I have.
Go
okay.
on.
I'm pretty sure I've told this story on the show before,
Where did it all start, Owain?
but considering now is the time that it happened, it seems like the perfect opportunity. So basically, when I was a kid, I thought Extreme 1 was Series 5, because I was a stupid-ass kid and I didn't know any better.
Idiot.
So my mum would show me Extreme on Friday nights, and I'd be like, this is brilliant. There's nothing like the rest of the Robot Wars. I still love it, though. Oh, wow, Razor won the All-Stars. That means they're the new world champion. They beat Chaos 2. And then, after the final episode, Mum saw that it was also on another BBC channel. She was like, "Do you want to watch the last 10 minutes again? Because we thought it was a repeat." I was like, "Yeah, please." She turned it on, and the only thing that we saw of that episode was Jonathan Pierce going, "And in next week's grand final, Bigger Brother, Razor." I
Oh
was just
no.
like, what?
So
It was in
these-
that moment I realised I had missed an entire series, and Jonathan fucking Pierce had ruined the grand final for me.
fuck you, Jonathan Pierce.
You bastard.
God damn it, doing his job.
So, am I right in thinking these two aired at the same time then?
Yeah?
Yeah,
it
just in
did.
different channels.
What?
Yeah, they did that.
So
I-
you had to tape
Oh,
one.
that's so dumb.
It's why I
And
missed Series
I was
5.
a victim of it.
I missed Series 5 entirely because I just watched Extreme, but then like years later I finally watched Series 5. But I didn't get spoilt Series 5, that's bad, unfortunately, compared
It's
to...
no wonder I've been, for all these years, wondering which I saw first, Extreme and Series 5. I probably saw them both.
You might have been. You might
I
have.
was grateful that Series 5, the entirety of Series 5 was on repeat about a week after. But it was at that point it was pointless because I knew who was in the grand final. I knew Chaos 2 was losing before the grand final. I knew Bigger Brother was going to have a Cinderella story into the grand final now. I was just like, I think that was the moment I started realizing I've got depression.
It was that moment he knew he'd fucked up.
At an early age.
At least to start early, at least, you know.
Yeah.
Best to get, you know, you don't want to get into it too late. You'll never catch up
I
otherwise.
didn't really want it at all.
But yeah, this grand final has some good moments in it. Can we just say that? At
It
least
starts well. It starts really well, and then
it just kind of
That's
ends.
one of my favorite matches of all time.
And we might as well talk about that. We'll do the awards before the grand final, like they have
dare
done,
you.
like they have done in the show. Because
just before you do, I just want to say that the 4 robots that made it to the grand final are legitimately 4 of my favourite robots of all time. Probably because they made the grand final, but I love every one of these.
and they're all deserving as well.
Yeah.
Like they all earned their place in there. Like, well, you can't expect that from grand finalists, you expect, wouldn't you? But what you gonna do? Starting with the, well, let's just face it, this is the best fight of the whole goddamn thing. Hypno-disc versus Bigger Brother. Just,
I loved the fucking drama in this fight.
it really takes you on a loop, doesn't it? Because, I mean, how beaten up was Bigger Brother by the end of this?
Very.
Well, the fact that they needed a whole load of teams to help fix the robot in just a couple of hours.
And it
Flipper removed, shell cut open, wheel pinned, and yet
They won.
still won as well. Like, Hypnodisc tried its best, but they couldn't kill Bigger Brother.
Nope.
In any way.
Big Brother has a beefy backplate. I mean, that thing is really solid, apart from obviously where it isn't. But yeah, it's just so good.
Imagine seeing it in the grand final. It makes you appreciate how much work they did in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's practically back together again. Like
I like to think that this fight alone is the reason why numerous robot teams nowadays bring multiple copies of their robot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that safety precaution. You don't want to like have your entire robot beaten up and go, "Oh, see you in an hour," if you win.
Yeah.
It's
like that's why during BattleBots this latest season, when they showed Monsoon fixing their only chassis, that was just such an alien concept to me now, because I'm so used to teams having multiples of their robots.
Yeah, they
and
really
I completely forgot that was actually the standard in the old days of robot combat.
It also makes it a bit more exciting, well, because obviously there's nothing better than watching two robots that are back together again fighting, rather than like one that's clearly just been taped up and then is going to lose anyway. I was also thinking of Sabretooth as well. Specifically Series 9 Sabretooth, obviously.
Good times.
Oh, that was actually the best part.
And then you get Esma going, "Stop!" And then she just Thanos right out of existence. Where the fuck did she go?
That was the only heat of the entire Series 9 I really enjoyed.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Aftershock ripping Sabretooth a new one just caused Esma to just disappear out of existence. she never showed up again after that.
Wonder why. But
Thanos.
Yeah, everything. Blame everything on Thanos. Exactly.
Literally, she just disappeared out of existence.
What? Her or the robot?
Both.
That is true enough. But it all ends. No matter how much damage it just could do, it all ended in one giant shove from Bigger Brother.
That was some excellent driving.
Yeah.
And I love the picture because the flipper is facing completely the wrong way. It is completely horizontal now. And
Like a boxer with a broken nose winning the fight.
Yeah.
More like a broken arm, managing to still hit someone with it.
Pretty much a missing head at that point, but
Yeah. It's just
It's like if Rocky Balboa lost his arm but still beat Clubber Lang.
it's just a flesh wound.
He just picked up his arm and started hitting it with it. I mean, damn.
It's the fact they still tried to use the flipper even though it was clearly not attached in any way, shape, or form.
Like I was.
I don't think they realized until after it was completely taken off.
Yeah, I would have liked it.
You got to think they're like a story above the ground. They don't have a very good view of the arena, to be honest, do they?
No.
And they were in the far end of the arena when they realized, oh shit, our flipper's actually not attached.
I mean, I'd love it if they used the flipper and it just flew off entirely. It's like,
Yeah.
but you know, a slightly less extreme version of when Spawn again in Series 7, where it just exploded.
That was funny.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, that was funny. Not doubting that was funny. But it just gone flying into the audience. It's like, oh damn. Hope this never happens again. Apex comes along. Hold my beer.
I love the fact that to apex is now a verb.
To apex something, yes. you just
blow oneself apart spectacularly, taking out arena walls.
And preferably getting it signed by Dara Breen and Angela Scanlon later.
Yep.
That also helps.
And then nearly killing Steven in his review of the episode.
I must have rewound that review so many times to rewatch that. My God.
It's the one thing I was very sad that Smite didn't do a live review to Series 10. Because imagine that moment. Jesus. But, come on, this is probably the best episode of the semi-final 2 and grand final combined. It just is.
Yep.
I mean...
Did you say it's the best episode of the grand final?
Yeah, I just did. I realise that now. I can't speak. I thought you knew this by now.
Basically, if you watch this match, then you have no reason to watch the rest of the episode.
Yeah, that's true, because then you have...
Because it really goes downhill from here.
Yeah, because it's Firestorm and Razor. Just...
And to be fair, this was a really good match. It was probably their best match.
Yep.
It was
we've seen this so many times as well.
And we've seen Razor do the same thing.
Yep.
Many times, even in its heat semi-final and now here.
What the fuck was it with Firestorm and just fighting the same opponents over and over?
Albert Einstein's theory of insanity.
Because How many times have they fought Panic Attack? How many times have they fought Razor? How many times have they fought Hypno-disc?
It's got to be too many. I mean, it's got to be at least like 15 times combined. It's still not as bad as Razor and Tornado, though.
No.
That's the worst.
The actual biscuit.
That's the worst repeating one.
Actually, it is. Panic Attack and Firestorm have fought each other more times than Razor and Tornado.
Really?
Shut up with your facts.
Shut up with your facts. He's completely owning us with facts and logic. We should know this by now.
I'm pretty sure Panic Attack and Firestorm fought each other 6 times. Razor and Tornado fought each other 5.
That's still too many.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying facts.
Facts don't lie.
I think this is the closest Razor versus Firestorm fight there has been.
Yeah, it was the best one.
It wasn't a flat-out win.
No, they were very close to getting Razor in the pit a couple of times there. And could you imagine if Firestorm were grand finalists?
Well, they were.
Well, as in, like, title match finalists. I never know what to call that end fight.
Grand finalists.
I've always called it the ultimate grand final or title fight or something like that.
The final to end all.
You win a trophy.
The final to end all finals.
Well, as Craig
Final
Charles says,
boss.
Robot Wars, the Armageddon.
Yeah, that was the official name of it. That was a right bit much.
And also, Jevan's now coming on officially as the Craig Charles impersonator.
Yeah.
All I can do is Armageddon.
It sounds more like the Big Brother house guy.
Dear one in the Robot Wars arena, and Razor has had a fight with Firestorm.
He actually fucking does sound like that guy.
Well, you found your niche in the future then. If they ever do a Robot Wars version of Big Brother, if do a bit of Robot Wars version of Big Brother, and if Big Brother's not in that, then I'll be surprised.
Day 22, and Chaos 2 has been absolutely shagged by 13 Black again.
And not in the way it would liked.
JP's just losing his shit in the corner.
Can we just take this? Can we just take this time to put the Channel 4 logo in the corner? Thank you.
I'm sure I might mock that up as the thumbnail now.
Razor, you have been evicted. Please leave the Big Brother house.
Someone's a gentleman.
Oh fuck, it's Christopher Eccleston.
Let's
You
go.
mentioned Jonathan Pierce. I really want to mention the fact that I have never been so annoyed with him saying something about a bloody factor.
What was it?
Right, in the semi-final, it was the front flipper factor for Firestorm, or the floor
Flippability factor or whatever.
And then you've got the later on, I think it was probably one of the most notable things is Jonathan Pierce going crushability factor for the umpteenth time. Oh.
There's so many factors to take into account. We never realised how complicated this actual Robot Wars deal is. Holy crap!
The math. I just want to see bashy robots fight.
Don't we all?
Screw
Remember, the
Step.
show's meant to be fucking educational.
Yeah, just fuck it.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not really educational when the dude who's saying everything for most of the episode is actually getting his facts wrong.
Lithium polymer armament.
I don't think you know what word.
Terrible and newcomers. Are they really? Are they really?
Oh, remember that time that Kilotron was in the grand final? Oh, I remember that. Kept saying in series 2 over and over again until they actually came into the grand final. And then he was like, ugh.
I love Tornado's horizontal spinner.
I was also actually gonna get mad at Jonathan Pierce when I was watching the episode because there's one bit where he says, "Oh, Panic Attacker, sorry, Pussycat are twice grand finalists." And I was like, maybe he's thinking of Body Hammer, but that's too smart for Jonathan Pierce. So I don't know if he just got it wrong.
He's just got that wrong.
Because he specifically said Pussycat. So no. Did you watch Series 3?
Didn't he once say that Kilotron finished 3rd in Series 3?
Yep.
Yeah, even though they didn't even make it into the... I mean, technically who came 3rd was Robot the Bruce, but whatever.
Pretty sure that Sean made a funny meme where he then put Jonathan Pierce going, No, not Jonathan Pierce, John Reed, sorry, going, that's not right.
Yeah.
I think everyone's done that now at some point.
You gotta love John Reed.
Jonathan, if I got a signature from John Reed at Robin, I would have asked him to write that.
I'm pretty sure he's sick of it by now.
Oh, I'm sure he is. why I might have, but I probably wouldn't have ended up doing it in the end. I'm too scared to talk to anyone.
I love the fact everyone memes the fuck out of John Reed, but he seems like the kind of guy who doesn't even know what a meme is.
He's probably never even been on like Twitter or anything like that.
I very much doubt that. I'm pretty sure he's doing wait for a good hit on purpose now. I can just see him smirking in the booth going, shunt posting.
I love it. We haven't barely talked about the Razor and Firestorm fight. That's good. That's
shite.
That's good. I was going to say,
we
it's
talked
good.
about it in the Extreme All-Stars final.
Yeah, we've talked about it a few times.
I didn't, but sure.
I'm sure you talked about it at some point.
Now, one thing I'd like to point out is the judge's decision. The judges go and have a look at the damage.
Why? Why just look? Did they just want to see it? Is that their excuse? They just wanted to look at it. Like, there's no reason why. It's not like in the 101 and hypno-disc one, where it was kind of close. Here they're just like, I just want like excited kids. I want to see the damage. Oh, what's the point? Anyway, so yeah, before we get to the awards, we'll just talk about the playoff fight. Hypno-disc and Firestorm 3 was frantic.
Yeah. As I was just saying to Owain while you decided to kill your internet.
Technically speaking, we have to talk about Firestorm versus Hypno-disc 3 times in one episode.
Yeah.
Although there's a
repeat of this fight.
There's a very helpful picture on the wiki showing the before and after of Firestorm, like when it started to when it finished, and it's just like, wow.
I love the fact the after picture is reversed.
Yeah.
The logo is on backwards.
And also the fact that they've just got like a panel over the flipper now.
Yeah.
They just gave up on that flipper.
I really think this is the true evolution of the wedge versus spinner fight, as in no active weapon on the other robot versus a spinner.
Yeah, and actually, what's funny is when the fact that one of the side panels gets ripped off, so you can see the wheel. It actually looks more like Snowstorm from Techno Games now.
Yeah,
and that's just kind of weird. Like, all right, just I guess when it was done, they were like, oh, just paint it different and put it into Techno Games. Done.
I was gonna say it's the same robot, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Yeah, I'm just saying this is the one without the flipper. It's not even working. Like, we don't have to. Yeah, you can have a flipper in the football. It's fine. We don't have one. just cover up all that paint damage and it's sorted. I mean, I feel bad for Hypnos because this is twice now they've just been shoved into the pit. a lot more violently though in this one. They're just like
the speed of
Firestorm.
Jeez Louise.
Like, you compare the two pictures, like Hypnotist just sort of just like just kind of just lying in the pit like it fell in. This one's just kind of like, holy shit! Just like.
Firestorm literally speared Hypno-disc through the fucking pit.
I mean, no wonder they weren't moving afterwards.
Yeah. We seem to have broken somehow.
A mysterious illness. It's just like what You Back the Mouse got in Series 1. I remember that one. Yeah. Weird I can't move illness. Oh, I hate that. I hate when that happens to robots.
I get that every morning. It's just called being tired.
Tiredness also is a factor. But it was mostly frantic and then just pit. But at least it was better than half the Razor fights we've seen. So I'll still take that over a friggin' Razor fight.
It was boring until Firestorm readjusted Hypno-disc's spine.
Actually, fun fact: Firestorm is a trained chiropractor. Everyone knows that.
Here, let me sort that out for you.
I would like to if when they pulled out of the pit, it was like a concertina, like in a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Actually, when they pull it out of the pit, there's just like a Looney Tunes perfectly sized Hypno-disc shaped hole in the pit floor.
Or just add the goofy scream as it's falling in.
I've just thought they pull out the pit the way Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson disposed of the body that was cut in half in Die Hard 3. So it looks like they're pulling the body away normally, but then they go in completely different directions and show the body's just been cut in half.
I'm glad you explained that, because that reference was completely lost on me.
I know, I turned into Brandon for a second then. Jesus, I'm so sorry.
No, it wasn't Brandon.
Genuinely don't apologise. It was completely lost on me.
It wasn't a hockey or anime reference. We're fine. Don't worry.
Nutty?
Nutty. But that was a fight. So Firestorm took took Hypno-disc's third seed away from him. Oh well. at least it made up for Series 4. Because wow, that was not a good series for Firestorm in any way.
Oh, Firestorm in Series 4 is never to be mentioned. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm very
At
sorry.
least it gave us a great fight with Firestorm versus Bolt from the Blue.
You shut your face.
We know it's the best fight in Series 4, and you know it.
Get out.
You gonna fucking make me?
But I'm in my own house. I'm recording right now. You're telling me to get out. How dare you, sir?
I've been telling you to get out since the fucking recording started.
I'm sorry if I can't take a hint, okay? God.
Leave your house. Leave the recording. We'll take over.
Alright, see you later then.
We actually did take over while
Yeah, we
you were
did.
gallivanting off in
Just-
the fucking no Wi-Fi land.
Just you didn't hear it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Like if a tree falls, does Jim's podcast belong to us?
yeah, you take legal ownership of it if I'm offline for more than 5 minutes. Fact. But, yeah, before we get to the grand final, of course, we have the awards!
Hooray!
And we have 5 awards here.
Eric got revenge on Dominator.
Yes, it did. Actually, since you mentioned Derek, we'll do it on first then. Engineering. Yeah, Derek won the Best Engineering Award.
Derek!
Oh, no, yeah, was that the Series 5 or 6 version where they had the mass? It was the Series 5 where they had the exclamation mark, wasn't it?
It was fun,
Derek!
Yeah, 'cause I remember Mike thought it was a successor to Eric, and he just shouted, Derek!
I mean...
Derek is a very well machined robot, though. I mean, it's rapid levels of machining.
It's so small, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not as good as Rapid.
No.
Well, no.
Rapid is just sex on a plate.
Nah, I've never liked it.
Oh, hot take there.
I'm
Me and
allowed
you are
to
going to
have
have
an opinion,
words.
Fair enough.
even if it is right and you're wrong.
Have you seen Rapid Fight Live?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
When?
I can't remember.
It's an interrogation now. I did. When? I don't remember. Ah, so you don't remember.
The story's falling apart.
Fuck, man, I've got a brain condition, alright? Leave me alone.
That's what they all say.
Where did you put her?
Where is she?
Why did you say that name?
Jesus. But yeah, Derek.
Reference I got.
Yeah, we got this one. We got one reference we get at least. We got to have a familiar reference somewhere. But yeah, Derek winning engineering again. Not a big surprise considering. I guess well, it's a surprise the fact that people forgot where Derek was probably until they came to the awards again. But looking at the robot, I can at least see why it was like a favorite, like the producers or the judges or something to go. You know what? That's not too bad. Yeah, it's better than Razor winning an award. Oh wait,
No.
design.
Oh,
Of course they win the design award. Cause it's Razor.
Should have gone to Wowot.
The sad thing is, I actually kind of agree because Woolwot is way more original than than Razor now by Series 5.
There's a certain robot dog that wasn't even fucking nominated.
That's
They
why
should have
wasn't
done it.
Best design.
Have you seen Dougal's design? It's awesome. He's got a little head and everything.
I know. I stole it like 20 years later.
Wowot.
But I like Woolwot. I mean, it was dumb.
Apparently, Wowot still exists.
Good.
Imagine,
Bring it
doesn't
to
he?
RoboNerd.
I think
Whoever owns Wowot, bring it to RoboNerd.
I know Adam
Pretty
Clark
sure
does.
Adam Clark still does.
Yeah, he owns a lot of his robots still. I think. I mean, he still has
Yeah, he still Vector Ram again, a Robo Nerd.
Yeah, exactly, and also he still has like that robot from Series 4 that he never actually qualified with, Twister, I think it was called. The one that's like a full body spinner type thing. I'm not sure if he has corporal punishment though. That's one I'm not.
He does. He
Oh,
does.
he does have that.
He's trying to get rid of it, actually.
try to forget about Series 3 probably. That's still bullshit.
A
Though.
lot of people are Red Dragons up on eBay.
Oh yeah, for like what like over $1,000.
£1,400.
I'm sorry. I kind of liked Red Dragon. I wouldn't buy it for that much.
Nope.
I mean, if it was like on sale for like I don't know 50, I might have gone.
I would have bought it if it was on sale for 100.
I'd probably.
A can of beans.
I've been tempted by 100. I mean, it's nice to own a robot from the main series, but not paying almost $1,500 for it. I think I'm fine, thanks.
bought Coyote's head for 100.
That's pretty good bargain, that. I mean, I have the backplate of Coyote for about 40, so
We have nearly a whole robot.
We
I
should...
have a CO2 hose from Weldor from Series 3.
How much
You
that cost
nicked
you?
that from Anthony.
Yeah, he gave it to me.
Oh, fair.
But my point still stands.
Hey, you still have it at least.
I have a random shard of polycarb from Behemoth.
And I've got a random piece of armor from Anthony's Beetleweight Weldor. So
I did have a shard of polycarb from Terahertz that was on Jester.
I have Jonathan Pierce.
as soon or later we'll just build an entire robot out of all these parts.
Yeah, it's just a giant Frankenstein's monster
Including
robot.
Jonathan Pierce?
Why not? I mean, he could give him something to do.
We will call it the fuck up.
How do you know about my life? Anyway, the most original entry was next. S3 winning it.
That
agree.
yeah, all right.
That's fair, honestly. I mean, the other entries were 13 black, which again, okay, fair enough. But 11. I just say
It is original. Give it that.
oh, it's original. I mean, it was like the size of a bed, wasn't it? I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the largest robot ever to appear in terms of length.
The way they could have made it better was if they made it have nosebleeds and telepathically do stuff.
And
Stranger Things reference there.
and not get stuck on 3 Seconds to Heaven.
Well,
Give
there
it egos.
I wouldn't get that at all.
Personally, I
I
think
have watched 2 episodes of Stranger Things.
I've watched none of them.
Neither have I.
Apparently I'm the expert of Stranger Things here, considering I've only watched 2 episodes.
I just knew who 11 was. Oh, well, I just knew about. I knew some bits from the show already, so I was like, oh, okay, I can't get that.
Can you imagine if 11 just had nosebleeds? That was her power.
Well, I forgot the robot then.
Oh yeah, that too.
It did kind of have a bleed in a different sense. Just spraying
Personally, I
fuel
would have
everywhere.
given the most original entry to 13 Black and saved S3 for something else, which we'll mention as the promising newcomer.
Yeah, the
but-
promising newcomer. Yeah.
Technically,
mean-
weren't newcomers though.
Well, this is the argument. Do you class a team as a newcomer, or do you class a robot as a rookie
I
newcomer?
always class the team as newcomers and the robot as just another robot from that team.
But if you look at things like the New Blood tournament,
That was a bunch of bullshit, and you know it.
Also, they clearly didn't have enough robots to make that up, so they just threw robots from Series 6. They were like, oh, do you want to come along? Fine.
hey Thor, you know how you've been in a series or 2. Do you want to, be a New Blood?
They're only in Series 6 up until that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Series,
Yeah.
6 is the first series they were in.
The first one.
I've misremembered them.
I mean, there's weirder ones, like just bring in Rhubarb, because everyone remembered Rhubarb. My favourite robot from Series 6.
There was a robot that actually couldn't make the New Blood, so that means that there was more than 24 robots for New
Jesus
Blood at one
Christ.
point.
I'm not looking forward to covering those heats in the future.
It was Knuckles. It was the robot that became infamous because it failed to qualify the most out of any other robot.
And the one time they
know the way?
and the one time they do qualify for something, it's like can't make
New
it.
Blood.
It's better than nothing. At least they've been on TV.
And then they dropped out because the guy's kid was going back to school and they didn't want her to miss out.
Aww.
Education, build robots.
They finally get on and then they have to drop out because the little brat has to go to school.
I'm grateful.
But in terms of like newcomers, though, I do think Fluffy was quite deserving, though. Because damn,
I mean, they shafted Pussycat for a good long while.
this is probably one of the few times Fluffy consistently worked until his heat final. Like,
Retired 101 as well.
and he almost beat Pussycat. Actually-
I'm so sad for Fluffy. I love Fluffy.
They never,
Genuinely one of the best spinners in the classic series.
never really got.
One of the best robots to never make a series semi-final.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's definitely. I'm not the biggest fan of Fluffy, mainly because its reliability just really hindered it so much. But
Look past the reliability.
I don't know. To me, reliability is a big part of why a robot's good, though. Sometimes I like a
Look
robot that's.
past the fact that they can't make it through an actual heat.
I just
Look past the fact that Scary Go Round lasted longer than them in Series 7.
You shut your face.
it's true. He's speaking dem facts, though. Have you heard him? Scary Go Round is technically more durable than Fluffy.
God.
Scary Go Round made it to the judge's decision.
Sad as it is, it's true.
I like Jackson Wallop.
I like Jackson Wallop as well. There was a campaign to try to get them to Robo-Nerd because Simon was convinced that Jackson Wallop still exists.
It doesn't?
I don't know. I've
No.
never heard any rumors or news since Series 7.
I'm going to build a mini Jackson Wallop.
That'd be quite cool. I did like Jackson Wallop, but it did remind me of Caliban a bit too much.
Jackson Wallop found way Anarchy when?
Hey, whenever I can get to Ireland.
I'm sure they'll take you there. And then we have last award for the grand final with the sportsmanship, which got to Pussycat.
Okay.
Which
Wasn't
is
really much of a choice though, was it?
no, I mean it was them or 13 Black. Again, as I mentioned before, no Chromalot. Dietor couldn't have it for some reason, and
something produces something.
yeah, and no Plunderbird either, which was a bit of a shame because when they sung that song for Extreme as well, nothing, no class these guys.
No Mega Morg, nothing.
No, just wow. I mean, I like Pussycat Team and all, but I don't know. It just seems weird not seeing the classic sportsmanship teams in there. But I mean, technically, this is the last time David Gribble appears. Then,
Yeah.
yeah, in flashback form. But I'll take it as a win.
I do feel that it would have been nice if they'd have paid respect in the show to him.
They did in the first episode of Extreme. They did.
Oh. Okay.
They put a in memory of David Gribble bit.
Yeah.
Either the start or the end of the episode.
It was right at the very end, I believe.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to. I think it would have been better doing it during the main series, though, probably.
Yeah.
Because more people probably watched Series 5 than Extreme. Or at least.
I don't know, you two didn't.
Well, I didn't even know Series 5 was on. That was the problem. If I had a choice between the two, I probably would have chosen 5 over Extreme.
What I would have loved is the starting from Series 6 until Series 7, but, you know, they did a David Gribble Best Driver Award.
Yeah.
Name an award after David Gribble.
That would have been way more of a tribute, honestly.
Do they do awards in Series 6?
They did 3, I think.
Bit of a downgrade from the 5 we have
And
currently.
then they didn't do awards at all in Series 7.
They didn't do much in Series 7, let's face it.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sort of their Series 7 for me.
Well, they did do a lot, it just made a lot of people angry.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make the fans angry. But with all those brilliant awards out of the way, of course we get the grand final of Razor versus Bigger Brother.
Oh,
Razor won the end.
One thing before we talk about the grand final, I should
Go
have
on.
mentioned this during the newcomer award.
Mhm.
They spelled Crustacean's name wrong.
How do they spell it?
I think they just spelled it the way it's meant to be spelled, crustacean.
It's Crustacean, isn't it?
Yeah, they didn't get the pun.
I know they spelled it wrong, but I don't know how they spelled it wrong.
Something as bad as Psycho Sprout being sick, like
Psychos.
it was like
Psycho
Pasuko
something.
Sprout or something. I don't know, it was something weird. Like they couldn't spell Psycho clearly.
They got better at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the title cards got better and better from there.
And then Mike would come and just confuse everyone with his spelling of psycho 20 years later. All over again.
True, but yes, of course, as I was saying before, the grand final.
Oh, do we have to?
I mean,
This made me sad as a kid.
Yeah.
it's not the best grand final, is it? Let's just be honest with this. It's
My notes just consist of the words more razoring.
that's what all this fight is, and it's kind of disappointing because after all that time they spent on Bigger Brother.
I remember as a kid watching this grand final, I actually made a fan sign for Bigger Brother because I was just so hyped that Bigger Brother were going to win the championship. I remember being so fucking disappointed.
It is a massive disappointment because all they went through, defeating Hypno-disc, you know, getting to the grand final, having people help them for 2 hours get this robot back and running to the point where you couldn't even tell it had been beaten up in the first round, and it just gets crushed. Well, both by Hopes and the robot got crushed.
Yep.
And it was just so anticlimactic as well. It wasn't like the Series 6 one where you at least had the fun with that cage where you're just like, what the fuck's Razor going to do with this? Or something. It's
The
like
cage is still being talked about to this day.
I even talked
I
about
made a cage for my model tornado.
I even got.
Connect.
I think it was me and Anson even got to talk to Andrew Marchand about it, and he was saying he was kind of loving the fact that people are still talking about it to this day. And he was just amazed that people still care about it.
Back in the day, as a massive Razor fanboy, I was furious. These days, I actually see it for what it is, and that is bloody clever.
I mean, it's not against the
I
rules.
loved it. I've always loved it.
I never had a problem with it at any time, really. I just never got why people were so angry about
People
it.
don't like Razor.
Well, even if I did like Razor, it doesn't, it's not against the rules. So what am I going to do about it?
They made that deadly clear.
Yeah, and even the fact that if it was against the rules, they wouldn't even let him in with it. So this guy, whatever. I think also the amount of times I've seen Tornado lose to Razor, it was nice. It was nice to see them. Nice to see them finally, beat him at their own game.
The fact that earlier in that series, the Tornado team actually got in trouble with the hypno-disc team because they tried to put an anti-spinner device on Tornado, and the hypno-disc team complained to the producers.
Oh right.
What would that have been?
It was basically just a tire that went around Tornado.
Oh. Is that it?
Yeah.
You mean they made Puck?
Pretty much, yeah.
Damn.
Bastards.
They turned Tornado into a Roomba, and Hypnodisc didn't like it.
Had to clean up all the pieces afterwards.
So yeah, literally the Hypnodisc team went to the producers during the semi-finals and were like, "Can you please tell the Tornado team to stop decorating their robots before our matches, please?" And they still lost.
I like we're talking about the Series 6 one, not the Series 5 one, because that's how amazing this grand final was. We're skipping a series.
Yep.
I thought we finished talking about it because we literally discussed all there is to it.
And we have. Well, we have now. More razoring to the extreme.
What a shite ending to a pretty good series.
Yeah, I mean...
I feel it was their time. And they had it, and then it went again.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Razor... At least Razor managed to get out of, its heat problems, and finally just went straight... It just kind of went... It's way too quick. Series 2 lost in its heat. Series 3 lost in its heat. Series 4 lost in its heat. Final. Series 5. Whoop.
Wins.
Just wins. And then Series 6 grand final, and then Series 8 pit. So it's, it's good.
Full story arc. They've had their full development.
Yeah.
Now they're done.
They got too big for
their Cinderella story. Now please go away.
And now they're back cleaning again.
Yep.
It's like how someone.
Sorry, please don't stop watching that way, Anarchy and Lewis.
it's like when someone wins a lottery and they spend all the money too quickly, and then they in Series 8 they come back.
Of course, I'd never do that. Never. Oh.
Are you hiding
I must
something?
admit, the things that they've gone on to do in later time is really, really good, and it's taken them a long way. So Warhead, BattleBots, obviously. Still, to this day, I state it had the best move in BattleBots with the headstand kill shot.
Oh man,
sexy.
I love Warhead though.
Ian Lewis went over to China, was judging King of Bots Series 1. Gutted he didn't come back for Series 2 or wasn't asked back or whatever, but we don't talk about King of Bots 2.
No, we
when
don't.
are we getting paid?
Good question.
About that. But
every robot here went to King of Bots 2.
Overall, then, since obviously this is now the end of an entire series, what do you think about Series 5 as a series?
Well,
I
absolutely
thought
amazing.
it could have been longer.
Really? I mean,
I
they had.
think it's just the fact that I'm not used to the 12 heats rather than 16 heats.
Last time they did that was Series 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had 16 for 3 and 4, and then back to this. Although, looking at it, the only thing that really puts me off Series 5, I think, is just so many kind of those first round losers who just
that was one of the
exist.
best bits about Series 5 for me.
I mean, it's entertaining at least. I mean,
it gave us Rough Dougal.
It gave us Rough Dougal, and it also gave us that forever made fun of robots Twister. So
And love Widow's Revenge.
And my wife, apparently, according to you. So
Revenge as well.
Randy's Revenge, yeah.
Yeah, there are.
You mentioned the wife. And mad.
There's so many classics in Series 5. I mean, I can't wait for the awards I'm doing for the next episode, honestly, because there's going to be a lot of contenders for the Piece to Shit award. Because I really don't know where I'm going to be. Like this, you could argue like 10 robots and could easily get in there, and I could probably say
Give it
yes.
to Razor.
Like I can't really give it to the robot that won. That's just, well, they made it past the heat. I mean, half the robots didn't even. Most robots I'm thinking of couldn't even make it past the first round.
Because Underbot could take it.
Because Underbot is a high. Again, I said I've got about like 10 in my head, like off the bat.
Juggernaut 2.
Juggernaut 2 is a high contender. I mean, Wowot and Rohog. Not Wowot. Yeah, I meant to say Rohog. So Rohog and Monad's also on there.
11.
How dare you talk about your wife like that?
We split up since then. No, actually, 11 to its credit, at least I don't know, was just a walker. And walkers have a disadvantage in it as it is. So I feel a bit.
Well, Ansgar really would like to have a word with you about that.
I'm talking. Oh yeah, okay. Well, most walkers we'd seen up to this point had a bit of a disadvantage.
Drillzilla.
That's a shuffle button, you know it.
Count.
They're a bit more efficient than walkers, to be honest with you. But also, Drillzilla hadn't appeared yet, so there was that.
Oh, it depends. Had Extreme finished? Had the World Championships happened?
I suppose they have technically, yeah. But I can't. Again, I feel like it's a low blow going for walkers, when I could easily make fun of Gazundabot or something instead. That thing had like 6 wheels and could barely move, so you know.
I was surprised at the number of robots. I'd actually forgotten the number of robots that competed in Series 5, 96 down to 4.
Yeah, can you believe it? All this to Razor.
Yep.
Brown.
What an anti-climax.
Seems rather shite now you mention it.
We love you, Razor Team.
No. Again, I've said it before. Hating a robot and hating a team are different. It's true. I don't like Razor, but hell, I like Warhead at least. So we'll give you that. I like Warhead. I do. The Warhead's legitimately awesome. But this was Series 5 done finally after what, like months?
Years.
Years almost, yeah. Actually, been over a year probably trying to cover this series because there's delays and stuff. But I'm actually doing it now. I've done it. All I've left to do is the awards for this series, which is not counted towards the main series, and done. Fucking done.
And then next episode, you get to talk about Brutus Maximus and Wasp.
Well, another delay for 5 months then. No.
And Ruff Dougal. So
Okay,
I've got to
it's pink Ruff Dougal, the best one.
Yeah, it's a great run.
I'm sure you can make it for that one, Owain. Don't worry.
I have actually ordered pink felt.
I need to see that one that appears.
I can't mention anything, but a certain something about Ireland means you might see it.
Oh, well.
You emigrating?
I wish.
Get out of Newport.
I really wish I fucking could.
Just say to Anthony, hey, can I just crash for like the next 5 years?
Did you actually know this? That a street in Newport called Pilgwenley has been voted the most violent street in Wales.
Well done.
You got something to your name at least. Well done. That's brilliant. I mean, no other street can claim that. So, you know.
Prostitution and muggings and drug selling and gang violence are plenty.
How far do you live from that?
I live about 10-minute drive away from Pilgwenley.
Ah, okay. Well, that's something then. Again, you can do tours if you wanted to.
No!
Make more money.
Yeah, get out of Newport. Well, anyway, this was Series 5, Semi-Final 2/Grand Final.
Was it?
Yes, it was, apparently.
Oh.
We're just talking about Newport for the end, but oh well, whatever. I'm Jimjamatic, signing off for the last time for Series 5. You can
Go
speak
on,
to...
Jevan, you can say goodbye before me.
Oh, you're very kind. I have been Jevan Woodrow, or World of Woodrow on YouTube. And thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And I have been Owain, the guy who is now sleeping with James's wife, Monad. And the plot thickens again!